Hey guys, it's Ryder here with my Mr. Robot, Season 2, Episode 12, Season Finale, Recap and Review. Wow, I'm kind of at a loss of words. I actually am. This was definitely a finale episode. It was definitely a culmination episode. It was definitely, I think, the episode that was meant to kind of close some doors, but really leave most of them open. That's something that the show is very much known for doing, and I really enjoyed this season. I want to get that out of the way also. Some people were criticizing this season for not being as good as the first season. You got to do different things. I understand that, and for that reason, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the big prison twist. Yeah, I just revealed it to you, so if you're watching this, I don't know why. If you haven't seen the prison twist episodes, I don't know why you're watching this, but hey, there will be spoilers. I enjoyed this episode, this finale, a lot, and I think it definitely cleared up some things, because last week when I did my review, I said, hey guys, Tyrell is back, he's back, and I was pretty sure that he was back, because there was no way that Tyrell was a figment of Elliot's imagination. There's no way that he died. They wouldn't just do that to you. But of course, those people in the comments section who wanted to share their opinion told me that for a fact that Tyrell was definitely in Elliot's mind. That is cleared up in this episode. We learn about that, and it's really cool because Elliot is almost in our shoes. He has no clue what is going on. And if I had one complaint about this episode, it's that, they're doing some really confusing things. And part of the reason I love this show so much is because it confuses the shit out of me. But at the same time, like I said, I really like that. I like kind of having to piece the puzzle together. But I think they could have done, maybe it's part of the story, but I am very much lost. And I think we're supposed to be lost, but it's just, I don't know. It's interesting. So I guess we'll just kind of start with Darlene, because I think that's a big deal. Everyone wanted to know about Darlene 2 weeks ago, and finally we're getting that question answered this week. She did not die. She was not shot at even a little bit. Cisco was. Cisco died, and I think, this is probably one of my favorite episodes with Darlene this season. For some reason, this season, Darlene kind of annoyed me a little bit from time to time, and I used to really enjoy her character. Certain episodes, she was really there, but definitely this one, I really liked her in it. I also really liked her relationship, or I guess dynamic, really, with Dom. Dom is a character that I've also kind of been on the fence with. I've never been able to say whether I really like the character or I really hate the character. I understand what they're trying to do with the character, but I don't know. I don't know. I've been on the fence with her. I really thought she was good in this episode, and again, I like the dynamic with Darlene. Darlene, the way the dialogue, the writing for Darlene is just spectacular, and the delivery from Cami Chaikin, I don't know. I don't know her last name. Cami something, who actually plays the character. I really thought did a great delivery. But you also understand and see the grief within Darlene, which also makes this more interesting. She calls Cisco the love of her life. She won't talk to Dom about anything. But then there's this amazing and very scary and big, huge twist at the very end with that, and with the FBI overall, because you get to the point where you're like, how is Elliot not caught, right? He's not caught, right? And the way that they basically say it is, well, before we even get to that part, sorry, I'm jumping ahead of the game right here. I want to just point out a really beautifully directed and edited scene of Dom walking out of the kind of containment room with Darlene through FBI headquarters, and all the FBI agents standing up like in slow motion, just like, My God, there's 6,332 of us on this case, and this little bitch right here, she's screwed it up for all of us. And, you see the fear, and you see the almost contentness on Darlene's face, and then Dom brings her into this room, and we see this whole mapped out thing. Everybody who's ever been involved with anything that has taken place on the hack, anybody from Angela to Trent to Romero to Tyrell to Darlene, but really Elliot. And you see that they have Elliot and Tyrell's face. They are the two big masterminds behind all of this. All of the other players, they're nothing. And they know Elliot Alderson. The FBI knows about him. And that, to me, is one of the craziest things ever. And it's a different type of crazy. It's like, you always think that Elliot's going to just get away with it. He's that good, but somehow the FBI knew, they know, and they've been screwed from the beginning. So I'm really wondering what's going to happen next season, especially because of the other big story that was going on throughout this episode. And of course, Mr. Robot's he's disappeared, and Elliot, or really Mr. Robot with Tyrell, they have been planning this really big thing to kind of blow up E-Corp headquarters, all that. To be honest, I didn't fully understand their overall plan, but the gist seemed to be that they wanted to blow up E-Corp headquarters. They wanted to kill all these executives, all of this. They wanted to send a message, and Elliot's not sure what's going on, right? Because he kind of pieces together, and he finally meets up with Tyrell, and Tyrell keeps talking about all this great stuff and these sacrifices he had to make, and Elliot's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And we see this, and they're operating from this house, and there's White Rose and the Dark Army are planning it with them. It's Elliot's plan. Elliot came up with this, of course. Really, it's Mr. Robot's plan. Mr. Robot came up with this. It is interesting overall how they've decided to go about this, and that's kind of where shit actually really goes down. Because Elliot, Mr. Robot finally appears back up in Elliot's, mind, and, Elliot's talking with him, and he's like, I don't want this. I don't know what's going on. And then Mr. Robot goes, I'm only supposed to reveal to you, this is how it works, I'm only supposed to reveal to you as much as you can actually handle and as much as you can actually take. And that was like a big deal because Mr. Robot is Elliot. And again, I said this last week, it's hard to think about it that way. Mr. Robot and Elliot are the exact same person. And we have, if you guys have ever seen Fight Club, it's an amazing movie, but there's an end scene in Fight Club, the final scene of that whole thing. And within that final scene, some really crazy stuff happens. There's a similarity I really felt like this. So Elliot decides, I'm going to shut it down, Tyrell. Screw you, screw Mr. Robot. And Tyrell's like, oh, hell no. So he goes and he pulls out a gun. And he seems to have this profound and deep love for Elliot for some reason. Not like a sexual or romantic love. Just like he really loves him for what he's done. And it's interesting how mentally crazy Tyrell is. By the way, Tyrell's like one of my favorite characters. He is so good. So good. I forget his name, Martin Wallstrom. I obviously didn't pronounce his last name right, but I don't know. I thought there was a great performance there, and he's like almost crying about to shoot Elliot, and he's just crazy dialogue going on there. And then Elliot comes to this conclusion. Oh my God. Is Tyrell even there? Is Tyrell really holding a gun to me? Is Mr. Robot there? No, he's not really there. Is Tyrell really there? Is this all in my head? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? You're not real, Tyrell. He slowly walked forward. And then we're all thinking, oh my God. Tyrell has always been in his mind, and he's not real. He's always been a figment of his imagination. And then Tyrell shoots him. Oh, shit! Yeah. And Elliot's just as surprised as we are. Tyrell's real. Oh, he's real. And I'm like, thank God, I don't know if I need, 4 or 5 personalities within Elliot's brain. And it's really is interesting because Mr. Robot wants Elliot to survive, but he doesn't really care. He's just trying to make things harder. And again, it's Elliot within himself, and I don't know. It is really crazy what is going on, and the last thing we see of Elliot is him kind of just dying and bleeding out from the shot. Of course, it doesn't seem like he's gonna die. Why? Because he's the main character. Of course he's not gonna die. But it is interesting. He got shot in the stomach. And you hear Mr. Robot's voice fade out. What is gonna happen? What is happening? And it is absolutely crazy, but not as crazy as the last scene that we see in this season. And this is I'm getting chills right now. I don't know how many times this show is going to do it to me. I want it to do it to me 10 billion more times because I love it when this happens. I love it when I get mind fucked, right? It's just like what happened to my brain? But it seems like Angela has been behind everything. All right, let's backtrack here briefly for a minute. The last scene is we don't see Angela throughout the whole episode, and she picks up a phone and she's like, "Hi, it's Angela," and Tyrell's on the other line. He's like, "Hi, Tyrell. Is he okay? Is he with you? Did you?" And then Tyrell, we hear him on the other end. He's like, "I had to shoot him. And then Angela's like, "You had to do what you had to do. I'll be there soon. I'll be there shortly." And then Tyrell goes, "I just love him so much." And then Angela goes, "I love him so much too." Okay, I don't know exactly what happened, but it seems like Angela is... She seems like she's like the head of the Dark Army or something. Like she's been plotting and planning and doing all of this, and it's like fucking with my mind. What is she? How does she know about Tyrell? How does she know Tyrell's locations? Why is she talking to Tyrell? How does she know about Elliot with it's craziness. She has to be involved somehow, and it does seem like she's a boss type character, and I think that's the crazy thing. Maybe Mr. Robot's been trying to hide that the whole time, that Angela is the main boss there. It's just craziness. Has it all been an act the whole time? Does Angela have like her own version of Mr. Robot in her own brain? Maybe it's Angela and then there's, Mrs. Robot. Oh my God. A spin-off series. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just, really, there has to be something bigger here. And it really makes me excited. Because, the season just ended, it's going to be a long, long time before we really get any new details. Specifically looking at something like a trailer, they haven't even filmed episodes for Season 3 yet. So, you're looking at a trailer coming around next May, maybe. Most likely end of next May. I don't know what we'll be getting throughout these next 9 months, 10 months, but hopefully we get some really cool casting announcements like Craig Robinson this season, and like Meryl Streep's daughter who's playing Dom. So looking forward to that stuff, but make sure you are subscribed to get all of my upcoming Mr. Robot Season 3 predictions videos, kind of updates, and of course, next year when the Mr. Robot Season 3 episodes roll around, I will be doing weekly recaps of those as well. Lots of crazy stuff going on at the end of this season, and tons of more crazy stuff going to be coming on next season. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me throughout this ride of Mr. Robot Season 2. It's been a pretty cool season. I really enjoyed it, and I think, judging from the way you guys have responded, I'm assuming you all really enjoyed it as well. So thanks so much again, and I'm Ryder signing off with infinite attitude, and keep riding, guys. Bye.